So anyway, where were we? Before we did all that testing, I'm so lost, I'm sorry.
I think the testing's actually all we've done so far, so you're in good shape.
Oh, excellent. It was, you know that video? The one, the transgender support? That one was fun.
Which one?
I really enjoyed it. It was just fun making it. It was good. But I feel like I get too preachy at times. I'm sorry.
No, I would say actually that your sort of brand of like wholesomeness is just perfect, and you know, trans topics are really important. Yeah, I wish you did more of them. I wish I did more of them, honestly.
Oh, you should have heard me, like, before we met. My good mornings and good nights. When I get going, I do those every single day, right? And I've been trying to back off because I realized I didn't want to destroy people's, like their notifications or whatever. And, but I love doing those. And what all I would do is say what my goals were for the day, how I wanted to treat it. And then at the end of the day, the good night was like the summary of how I messed it all up.
You never messed up. You did fine.
Oh, yeah. So, I wanted to ask you something anyway. Because, when I first met you, what the first comment I remember you said was the first one I think I ever saw. It was something along the lines of, just lawnmower girl being lawnmower girl or something like that. And I was just like, oh, that's funny. And then I found out about your AI quest. And that just fascinates me. It really does.
It's really interesting. So it's like, I think AI sort of brings out just this really weird side of me that I haven't explored for quite a while. And, I think it's always been there, like in everything I've ever done. But with AI and since AI, really, I have sort of, my understanding of art has sort of evolved a bit, if that makes sense.
How did it evolve for you? What happened? Like, it does make sense. Like, you're growing.
I don't think I'd ever, yeah. Well, you see, that part of it is that there has been an awful lot of harassment against AI creators and artists.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, it's especially bad, like, if you're a woman, if you're a marginalized voice, if you're trans. We are the majority of that community. So the thing about it is that, when you're under that much pressure to respond, you really just sort of sit, and there's almost a meditation to it where, you ask yourself questions like, well, what does art mean? Is there any sort of absolute meaning to art? Is there a relative to me meaning to art? Is there an ethical or moral standard that artists should live to and abide by? And the answer there is no. Because there is no single art is not a monolith. Like every artist you ever talk to about art, no matter what their medium, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from, they will always tell you something different about the nature of art. I see art as a way to speak truth to power, to speak a language that breaks down barriers and gates and sort of brings people together in a way that no other tool can, and it's just this sort of floating, amorphous infinity of possibilities that sort of float around your head. And I feel like, for the good and bad of the AI discourse, I've sort of, for equipment? And the answer is actually pretty damn weird. Pretty damn weird. With just like Unity and, well, okay, so I started off with, I started this in 2020, towards the end of it. It was the end of my podcast era, and literally a different life, a different name, different character that I play, different mask I put on in public.
Yeah.
But it was the end of that era, and I have discovered that, there's this fun Adobe tool where you can make a cartoon character and talk into it and do this like 2D animation thing. And they were doing like Simpsons, things with it, and like big brands were investing into this cartoon animator thing. I always get these programs mixed up because they all have such similar names. But it's the cartoon animator from Adobe, not the one from Illusion, which I also have. But yeah, so we had that, and I was just so, I think back on it, and I'm wondering if, like, maybe it's a trans thing, like, that first time that you speak into an avatar that doesn't look like you, you speak into something pretty, and in real time, you can watch it mouth your words, and it's this crazy, beautiful, extremely satisfying feeling. You know the one, I'm sure.
I sat there, and one of the original inspirations of my series, because it's only a year old now, and it's always off the cuff, but the seeing VR, like, I can track back to the year just before last, like around November or so. I started looking into VR because I was like, okay, because I had an SDK kit of the Oculus way back in, like, what was it, 2014, 2012 or something like that. And unfortunately my computer was just not good enough to power it at the time. So anyway, but it is like to put yourself, and like with me, I put everything into Selmor and Lawnmower Girl, and when you sit there, like, I'm sitting there, I have my characters, all they have to do is be rigged and put into the VR unit. Now, technically I have them, but I don't have my PC anymore. But I mean, like, seriously, like, I'm just sitting here thinking about, like, getting in there. It's a form of ultimate expression, and it's freedom from the shackles, of judgment and anything else, because when you're in VR and you're whatever character you are, you could be Miss Pac-Man, a ghost, whatever, you're being you, you're having fun, and it's freedom. And it's funny because you have to go, it's almost, you know what it is? It's like when you're meditating and you get really deep in that trance and you kind of go on a journey. It's kind of like that. It's like a self-dive where rules don't apply. A dreamland where you're fully conscious.
Right. I think that's actually sort of why, I think that's one of the things actually that sort of attracts me to, surrealist aesthetics and that sort of whole mode of looking at the world. The surrealists did this thing, it was called, like, automatism. Are you familiar with it?
I'm sorry, I missed that part. I was stretching my back and it cracked on me. What was that?
I'm sorry. So, like, surrealists, they all sort of subscribed to this idea that, like, art can be automatic, without process, just the raw sort of movements of your hands and your feet
That's my favorite way of creating art. Like, and that's one of the things I think I adore about you. Because you're the exact same way in a lot of art aspects of myself. And like, you enjoy just kind of looking at everything almost like that clay metaphor, where you just kind of want to get your hands into it and see what comes out of it.
Well, I have this saying, there's never anything that I don't know how to do. Only things I don't know how to do yet.
Right.
So, I see sort of, like, art has been like this. Like, a lot of, okay, so like,
I'm sorry.
a lot of artists talk about, a lot of artists talk about, like, oh, I'm left brain, I'm right brain, and this and that. I don't think there's a difference. I don't think there's a difference. I think art can be calculated and cold and analytical, but it can also be, very loose and very random without any calculation at all. And what I do is, like, I feel like my default headspace when I make art, no matter what medium I'm working in, I could be working in 3D or making a painting or doing something with AI or, doing sculpture. And my default state is just to be very, very calculated. I'll be like, okay, so this goes an inch from here, and that calculates to a tenth of an inch from here, and an eighth of an inch and a 16th of an inch. And I mix metric and non-metric because metric's more precise. And then I'll put the millimeters on top of it, and I've got a really good eye for millimeters. And I sort of go along there. And one thing I've tried to develop, I think, is to not do that. Sort of like the automatism thing. It's a really good exercise in shutting off your brain. The more you do that, the more you can sort of explore art in ways that are outside of your comfort zone and outside of your defaults. I push myself to learn new techniques all the time.
Question.
You would not believe how far I started with, like...
Oh no.
You could go back to...
Oh no, hold on.
You could go...
Hold on. I think, okay, just pausing real quick. You gotta remember, I'm, new to this VTuber thing. What was that?
Well, there's a saying in the VTuber world that, like, scuff is content.
Oh.
Embrace the scuff.
I do.
You're cringe and become one with it.
I love this stuff. I call it chaos. I'm like, one of my roles in my animation is I call my animation style chaos animation, and it's because no matter what happens, I have to use it and incorporate it into whatever I'm working on, into Lawnmower Girl, right? And so, like, right now, you are becoming lore into the system. And,
Speaking of, that's actually one thing I really admire, sort of, about the stuff you do. Like, you are one of only 2 VTubers I've ever met who had the unmitigated audacity, the gigantic cojones to try to do a dragon VTuber. I thought about it and I chickened out. You did it. You published it. You made it happen, and I applaud you for that. It was really cool.
And there was 2 different ones. There was an older one and a younger one. One of them had a younger spin on it, and but the first one that came back, because I did a few sketches with it, a few things, and actually I was just okay. to any. Okay, well, technically, anybody who's going to be watching this, actually, that dragon character is technically coming back, but right now it's all happening behind the scenes in direct messages. But these are messages that I can clip and will turn into a story later on, as long as I don't lose them. And the dragon's about to make an appearance again. There's something amazing happening in DMs, and I wish I could share it, but it's not yet complete.
Exciting. You'll have to share it with me when we're not on this call, because I'd love to know what happened.
Oh, it's, like last year when it opened up to Twitter, and this is, this is my form of artistic expression and stuff that I'm doing with all this, and, right before it, I severed all of my bonds to my original birth family because it was toxic. Not going to deal with it. Not going to go into detail, but and then after that, my character ended up in Twitter, and when she got activated, the very first couple things that happened, and everything is 100% organic. Like, I have no idea how people are going to react to things. I just hope they have a poetic, soul when they're typing or when they're interacting. And, this organic life started forming for Selmor, which has brought us to where we're at right now. From, a family, and there's, my big little brother, Maxie. Treat him like family, real blood family. He's amazing. But it's the story just evolved, and it's Twitter was going nuts last summer, and so I think every summer is going to be a Twitter thing. It's just, so, I don't know though. I'll have to see. It all depends on how it goes. But, see, I'm rambling. I'm sorry. That happens sometimes. I'm sorry.
I broke the #1 rule of broadcasting just now.
What was that?
I broke the #1 rule of broadcasting right now. So, when I was in college, the big thing that, they tried to teach you when working at a college radio station is that, under no circumstances do you drink soda, carbonated soda, right before an interview or a long-form talk. And if you do, you better use your mute button. So that's what I did tonight, just not even thinking about it. So, I've been trying not to burp in your ear.
Oh, well, I always appreciate good manners.
It's imperative. It's so important.
Well, one of the reasons I like doing the calls late at night is so I get into that really tired state. And I'm trying to process the information as we go. But, and, my brain is definitely doing it, but my mouth is just yeah. You know what, though? I'm curious. Because I'm curious. While you were talking, I was listening, and what was the one moment, when you were doing a piece of work and everything just kind of clicked?
I gotta turn off my alarm. That's gonna be in your ear in just a second. Hang on.
Okay. I guess I'm taking off work tonight. What's today? Is today Tuesday or Monday? Oh, it's Tuesday. Okay.
Or maybe it's Wednesday already.
No. Well, I was just... I'm going to take tonight off so we can have our call. Well, it all depends on a couple things.
Okay, so you wanted to know one moment when I was just totally in the zone, or did you want to know
Yeah, like the first moment when you were sitting there and you're doing a piece and you inspired yourself the very first time. You're like, I know what I'm doing. I got this. I can do this. That moment, because I don't know. It's kind of what was that moment? It just clicked.
Alright, so, I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
When was the moment the art clicked for you?
Just generally.
Yeah, because see, I'm curious because you have an evolving mentality as you go through it. I've been sitting back and watching you. You know what I've loved is watching you grow since I've met you. It was almost like I felt like I jumped on at the journey right at the right time because like you started simple and you're working with it. And what I loved is you shared all your work. You were like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how I do this, and I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna do this video over here. And it's very informative, and I love it. And I'm always like kind of geeking out about it because it's really neat. And I just see you. What it looks like is you're exploring the tools as you go, and you're just finding what works and applying to it, and using it in that direction, even if it's not intended to go that direction, which is fantastic. And
Sometimes that's half the fun of it, though.
one of my questions I had for you about everything is you've been playing around with your 3D avatars quite a bit recently, right? And those were AI generated, weren't they? Like they were like you prompted it and you did all the commands and all the other things, but like they came from scratch went through your whole process, and you ended up with those models, right?
Right.
That's what I thought. So we got to see the whole process. That's really neat.
Right, but, okay, so there's my main model, and then there's the new project that I started, and that's and then the secondary project is I want to do something interesting in the virtual influencer space, and
What's that?
okay, so I've been studying, like,
Now keep in mind this is recording. So if you don't want to,
yeah,
if you want me to censor anything that might be kind of privy to what you're doing, I can. I will not use it.
well, it's like you were talking about earlier. I'm all about transparency and sharing my process.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so like, well, let's take a step back. And I've been doing art ever since, as long as I can remember. I got into comic book art when I was about 11, I think.
Favorite artist
And
when you were 11?
when I was 11, I want to say probably Todd McFarlane.
I knew it. I was like, you're gonna say Todd McFarlane. You're gonna say that.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
And I liked Todd McFarlane because that was the first time I'd ever seen comic book art that was both sort of cartoonish, but at the same time also maximalist in design. Todd McFarlane would do these things like, you know how like Jack Kirby was like historically he's renowned for like being the fastest comic book artist there's ever been. Like,
Oh, Kirby?
Kirby could quick draw, yeah, he could quick draw like an entire page in like 80 minutes, which is a record. I mean, the only person who was ever that fast other than Kirby was Wally Wood. And Todd McFarlane.
That's the You're on Fire alarm. No, just kidding. Keep going.
Yeah, no problem. So Todd McFarlane was not that fast. Todd McFarlane was about as fast as any other conventional comic book artist of the time. But the thing you got to remember about Todd was that, on one of his pages, there was so much detail and so much rendering and, so many characters saying A. And, there was just a lot there. It was a lot to take in. Comic book art before Todd McFarlane was a much, much simpler craft, changed everything.
It was McFarlane when, like you said, in amazing detail. Every single page was a front cover. Like, And that's what I love about his art style. And then you had, of course, I was never really a big fan of Rob Liefeld, but a lot of other people were. But it was really those two who went on to shape everything that came in the future.
So, like, yeah. Oh boy, I had the whole thesis on, like, Image Comics, and, like, yeah, I'll have to tell you about it sometime. It's really interesting.
We'll talk about it another time. Because I'm curious about that one, because, you got me really curious now.
Yeah, so, like, after that, I went to college, and I was still very into comic books and very into punk rock. And I had this professor, his name is Paul Pines, and he was this famous poet, like just kind of an obscure poet, because all poets in the 20th century were obscure poets. You only really find them, if you go after them. You don't know who Jack Kerouac is until you discover on the road, or, Mexicali Dreams, or, whatever book, or volume of poetry that you find by Jack Kerouac. And that leads you to, like, Howl by Allen Ginsberg. And, Paul was really just amazing, underrated poet. And he was more than a poet. Going back an entire century of subversive art. So, like, you started grunge, right? Which was the current art form, the current subversive art form of the time. And Paul had this way of just, like, walking you back in time. So you could see that, the fundamental struggle against, bourgeois capitalism has never changed. We are still fighting it. The fight is God.
Oh, hold on, it did it again.
Right, so, what was I saying? Okay, so to answer your question, I think it's twofold. One is because of a misconception that people have about AI, and that is that, it's two misconceptions that are sort of held up on top of each other. One is that you can't create anything intentionally with AI. If you put in a picture, you're not going to be able to preserve the line work. You just sort of have to take what it gets and curate that. That has never been true.
Yeah.
If you check out my YouTube channel, I did a whole series on noise painting and logographic shorthand for assets, which really I don't know if anybody's ever done logographic assets for 2D, but I have. Super interesting. It's a really fun topic. I also did a series on noise painting and combining different noise painting techniques with different kinds of noise. And what that does is it sort of short circuits the denoiser, and it makes it behave in unpredictable and interesting ways. And you can use that with intention to create something very, very intentional. But I think a lot of that is largely obsolete now, since the advent of ControlNet. And what ControlNet lets you do is it lets you take a sketch or a depth map projection, or there are these things called heads, which are sort of like depth maps, but they're inverted, and they have way more details in them. And you can also take normal maps and do sort of the same kind of AI rigmarole with them, and sort of reconstruct and deconstruct and parse and create and process in different ways. And so the whole argument that you can't create AI images with intention week, I have to relearn something. I learned some new tool that didn't exist previously, and I swear to God, this happens every single week, and they're not even keeping up like they're supposed to. They're doing a great job of keeping up, but they are only humans, guys. So it's fair to assume that even though they are like the ones who do the best job of keeping up, it's fair to understand that there's still 50 things in the pipeline that came out yesterday that they haven't been able to get to yet. And the thing about it is that understanding that we are at an inflection point of exponential growth right now when it comes to AI. And it's going to be like this for quite a while.
It's
On the
done.
other hand, you can say, well, you know, these things are moving so fast and they're so volatile and they're so unstable that maybe I should take a while to learn them, and there might be, you know, solace in that. There might be wisdom there. But on the other hand, it's also really important to understand that AI can be used as a final product. You know, like you were saying earlier. I don't think using it as a final product is bad. I do a lot of pieces that start with a sketch, and then what I do is I sort of layer composites on top of them. Like, I'll do a render that'll have a nice piece or a twist in it, or then I'll do some in-painting or some in-painting over it and some out-painting around it. And that's totally valid. All of this stuff, it's like I was saying earlier, no matter what your medium or the tools you're using or whatever they are, if you can create an image, then in any way, then you are worthy, okay? You are worthy of that image that you have created, and you are allowed to say that is my image, that is me, that is my expression. Even back in the art builder days where, like, there's this step of sort of like this entire community was pretty much on Art Breeder. And the way Art Breeder worked was, you know, you'd upload an image to it, and you'd combine it with a second image that you either upload or find in the system. And you sort of curate your way, rather, into a third image. This was done with GANs, General Adversarial Network. And what they would do is calculate the distance between any two images and pick out spots in the middle for you to look at. And it was really cool at the time. It was fun. The reason I took it onto Art Breeder was because, you know, there was something going on that was weird with the way Art Breeder sort of behind the scenes processed their depth models. Does that make sense? So, like, you take a picture and it would, to you, it would look like a face, right? But if you took that same image and you passed it into Headshot, which is the tool I use, it's this other AI that I use to make my 3D characters. If you pass that into Headshot, or even any other app that can recognize faces, it would not recognize those faces, and that was really frustrating because those were some really nice images. And what I ended up doing, I think, was just sort of playing around with contrast on them, and I figured out that you can. You see, with Adobe announcing their intention and delivering on their promise, what you have is a really clear idea of what's going to happen. And like I said, I hate the attitude of the defeatists. I hate that they said, well, I don't like this, but, oh man,
What
I can't go along with it anyway.
What did Adobe say?
Adobe put out a beta of a program called Firefly, which is very similar to what Stable Diffusion does. I'm really skeptical about their ethics claims because on paper, anyway, it doesn't seem all that different than what DeviantArt was doing. But I'm not going to beat that dead horse because the larger artistic community does not care. So, you know what? That's fine. I don't care. I don't personally see that. I don't see training as a problem generally, unless something's overtrained. And that's because, like, just to put that ethical argument to bed. So imagine that you tell a computer, this is what a tree looks like. And the computer says, great, this is a tree. And then it hands back something that doesn't look like a tree. And then you hand it 7 billion pictures of a tree. And you say, computer, this is what a tree looks like. And the computer has two options there. Like, in terms of, like, the realities of this technology. You know, the computer can tell you, well, I've learned what a tree looks like. Here's a new tree. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the computer can pull a tree straight from reference and hand it to you in an image, right? Now, generally, the way Stable Diffusion, we don't know the way other models work because they're not all as transparent as Stable Diffusion. But the way Stable Diffusion works is it actually draws a new tree. You can take that tree to TNI or Google Images and never find another tree in all of creation anywhere in the human record of a tree that looks like that. That's the beauty of Stable Diffusion. You can make models that work the other way. And I think the confusion is that the people talking about this realize that doing it the other way is possible, and they've seen it done. Like, you know, they've seen it done with Anything version 3, they've seen it done with the Sam Desert model, which is reprehensible and should not exist. But, you know, they've seen it on some of the revenge campaigns where people intentionally overtrain models. There's been bad behavior on our side. I'm not gonna deny that. But the thing about it is that it's not the default. Yes, you can make the technology do that. You can make an AI that is an overglorified copying and pasting machine if you really want to. If you do it wrong, you can get it to do that. No problem.
One thing I learned. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say this. One thing I learned is that I was trying to manipulate the AI by feeding its database the images of my character rather than doing the other way. And I was getting pretty far. And then I lost the directory that had the pictures. And I went back into the program. And now it's just all crap and random differently again. I have to do a whole new tuning sequence just to get it back into grooving. I know. I was like, oh.
Oh, that's a huge boomerang.
It is. It is. It's kind of like it's like not having your files backed up. You know? But it's okay. I'll just explore a different direction and see what happens.
Your character's always been fun to play with. I think with AI. You know, she's just so really. Your avatars are just cute, and just all of them are just these. They're just adorable and wholesome, and I love them so much.
Even Charlie.
Even Charlie.
Oh, she's a problem. Oh my. No, thank you. That's I had a lot of fun doing them. You know.
They're great. And you know, it's kind of fun to watch you experiment too.
Right.
Just in general.
Oh, I'm always experimenting. I'm always doing something a little bit different, and then it might incorporate itself in more often later on. Oh, let's just hope it doesn't snow anytime soon.
Because it's always been, you know, find a technology technology tool and push it as far as I can make it go and see what happens when it breaks.
Right. Breaking the software is always the most interesting. The
That's the best.
right, like, I mean, it's not on the same level of breaking the AI that you are, but one of the things I always enjoyed doing was, whenever I play games, I always played them extremely differently, and I always did my best to break them. And I just wanted to see if I could, you know? Like when I was young, one guy taught me uh, how to hack into the, what is it called? The extreme basic of a computer. It's a memory that he taught me how to write to it. And
Assembly.
is that what it was? I was so young, I don't remember. I literally like I have always loved tech, right? Always. Like ever since I was little, I'd tear apart things and put them back together just to see if they'd work after I did. And
Oh, my mom stories.
oh, and I am so excited. Like the potential of where AI can take every industry we're working with forward. It's just like it's amazing to think that as long as, no maniacal geniuses come around, I don't know if we can deal with a maniacal genius AI.
I'm a maniacal genius.
um, but you know what I mean? Like from my most favorite is the medical field. Like, eventually, it'll be AI that's doing the surgeries. And it's all going to be done with, like, mathematical precision. Like, chances of people.
We're not there yet, though.
Huh?
We're not there yet, though. Not even close.
No, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Right now, they have doctors using VR to perform surgeries, which is kind of neat. Uh, it makes me wonder though, like how they deal with lag issues, right? Like, I just know. Um, but like it's good. AI is gonna be. Humanity is not gonna be exploring space. You know who's? It's gonna be the freaking AI. We're gonna have awesome AI and probably digitally encoded humans by that point too. Uh, out exploring the universe for us. And we're just, people worry about AI. You know what? They're worried about their money, and it's not going to destroy art. It's if anything, it's going to push those traditional artists. If they don't want to go to AI, fine. Do something better. Let's see it. Keep going. Move forward. Are you afraid about the competition? Who cares? It's AI, right? And then uh, just encourage them to do the best they freaking can.
Well, maybe it's the art culture that I grew up with. Just sort of, the way I was raised as an artist when I was a kid. You know, I, I come from a weird place. My parents were Orthodox Jewish, and the art ethos that came out was very different than what you see on the internet. Like the concern, if you'd ever say, well, this person's art sucks, you get rebuked. Seriously. People look at you and say, well, what have you done lately? And that's where I come from. So, that's sort of my response when people want to talk about AI. Great. What have you done lately? And what you see is like a lot of fan artists and a lot of kids do this. And maybe it's just a normal, natural kid thing. I know that I did it, and I know that I was shamed many other artists sort of grew up the way I did. And I feel like it's a thing that's actually worthy of shame. You know what
Well,
I mean? It's not good behavior. You know, when you are learning art, when you are developing yourself as an artist, forget other people. Other people do not matter to your artistic journey. Your
hold on.
art.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. We are down to 20% on my phone. Hold on.
Oh no.
I know. But I might as well. I know. I it gets late. I really usually want to do these 3 or so hours later, or 2.5 hours later from now. I want to hit that 3 o'clock time, but at the same time, I don't want to like keep you up past your bedtime and all that too, because this is all for fun, and I don't want to.
I'm having a good time.
I am too. We've been having a really good talk. The I you'll have to pick up where you were. I'm too tired at this point. Like,
Me too.
right? I'm gonna sit there and re-listen to this and see what I can salvage from the missing hour.
I'm sure there's some gems in there, but like, we're sort of going around in circles.
We
That's
are.
fine. I don't mind it. You know.
I'm just. Well, what? I'm sorry. I really wanted to get a grasp on your journey with AI because I admire it. I like seeing. Yeah, it's true though because it's just watching you grow and move forward, and that's the same thing.
That's true. And, oh yeah, what did I tell you? I came up with a name for my little character, the
Oh,
purple-haired one.
what is it?
Yes, I'm calling her Tildy Dawn.
What is it?
Tildy Dawn.
Tildy Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
Tildy Dawn. Oh,
Tildy Dawn. Yeah.
I get it. Took me a second.
Capable of creating a character name that isn't a pun.
Oh, it's so hard. My Charlie character, her actual last name is Weathers, Charlie Weathers, and her very first appearance in the Lawnmower Girl series, she was a reporter for a TV news station. Like,
Awesome.
right? Like, okay. That's funny. So, I want to talk again sometime. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can keep going. Could we talk about maybe like the current project and how crazy and weird it is?
Yeah, go for it.
So like the current project, I'm really sort of expanding my horizons, pushing myself to learn like new animation skills that I've never learned before. It's not like conventionally AI driven, but I'm using a lot of AI generated assets. Um, and what I want to do is sort of like, how do you explain it? Do you remember Poppy?
No.
Poppy was this weird, sort of surreal art experiment. You should look her up. Her music's amazing.
Poppy.
And,
Okay.
yeah, it was sort of like, it was almost like a throwback to like some of the really experimental, like, industrial music art that happened in like the 70s and 80s. And the premise of Poppy was that she's like a robot, sort of, you think, maybe, but she's also like a real girl who's kidnapped by a secret cabal that may or may not be the Illuminati or Satan. And it was just so strange and interesting and perfect. And I think that was like sort of a big sort of influence on like, I saw that and I was like, wow, man, that is so cool. That is just cool. But I also realized that like one of my biggest guilty pleasures has been like outside Miku, and I want to sort of do that maybe, like Vocaloid stuff. I'm experimenting there with Vocaloids, and at the same time, I want to do a body positivity thing. So that's kind of a tall order. Weird, creepy, surreal, like a poppy video or a garbage video, like garbage from like back in the day when they had their weird faces being.
Oh, I remember those videos.
Yeah, they were so great.
Is that wait?
Like we walked into it.
Was that the same as the? Was it Tool who did a really like weird one?
Tool's done some weird stuff too.
Yeah.
I've never been a big Tool fan. Like Rob Zombie was also really weird, really respectable surrealism in his videos.
They don't make music videos
Garbage had
anymore.
a way more sort of feminine aesthetic to it, if that makes sense. Almost like, it was almost like watching a racing czar painting come to life. Yeah, I know the garbage videos sort of predate racing czar paintings, and it's probably like a shared inspiration between that and me, and the two of them, this cloud of creative goodness. But yes, that's my thought. I just want to make stuff that's wholesome, but also dark, and also funny, and weirdly surreal at the same time,
And body positive.
Of course, it has
Yes.
to be body positive. Body positivity is such a weird topic with art. It is, because I think that Tilly, my main protagonist in these videos, I think that she looks normal. I don't think she looks overweight. I do not. I think she looks like she's built like a regular human woman person. But yeah, I mean, I've had like half a dozen people tell me right now in my process videos that I post, they're all like, well, she's so chubby. I love that. But by the same token, I don't think she's chubby. I mean, I think she's maybe, 140, 150 pounds? That's not bad.
Oh, I just love watching her just dance all over the place.
Isn't it great?
The
So much fun.
the still pose though, where you're using the model to lip sync to something. That's got such a creepy vibe. Oh my god. I'm like, it looks awesome and creepy and cool all at the same time.
Yeah, this is all just sort of raw test footage, though, so...
Oh yeah, no, totally get it. Totally get it. Well, that's why it reminded me of like the old Winamp plugins. Like, it was fun. I liked it. But now you're working on some new character, so I have to look into that.
No, that's the one I'm working on right now.
Oh, it was the same character?
Yeah, I'm working on the one that everybody thinks is bad, but isn't, so...
Oh.
That's the one. But she's got backup dancers now. They're big, muscular men with, like, horned hats and business suits, minus the pants. And I
Very cultured. Very cultured.
I'm very excited about it.
Sounds fun.
I got an office set today.
A what?
So, like, a 3D office asset. So, like, I have a set to do the whole video on. And it's very, very normal. And putting weird stuff in the normal space is going to be very, very fun.
See, I need to get my computer stuff up and working again because, like, I could 3D model so much stuff for everybody. I could be like, here you go. It's like, you with AI was me with going in and trying to figure out how to get things animated the way I wanted it to do it.
I'm not even really using AI right now for this. This is all just hardcore 3D, animation and cinematography. And I know how to make the figures. What I don't understand is how to work the cameras quite yet. And that's the thing I'm going to be working on this week, is trying it's semi-professional. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That does sound fun. That, cinematography is very fun. You can tell a whole different story through it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's going to be amazing. That'll be cool. I can't wait to see it. I'm sorry. I don't want to keep you. But I am getting tired.
I am too.
Oh.
It's about my bedtime anyway.
I enjoyed our conversation. I really did. And
We've got to do this again sometime very seriously.
oh, most definitely. Most definitely. And it's fun. I feel like I got to know you better. That's neat. But at the same time, I feel like I already knew you because you express yourself so well through everything you do. So,
Thank you.
you do. You're genuine. You like, that's the best way to put it. Like, it doesn't matter if you'd be being maybe a little snarky or whatnot, or if you're being whatever in mood or whatever you might be in, you're always genuine about it. You know that's me,
Sure.
so I appreciate that. I appreciate that about you.
Of course, sometimes I am a selfish, satire prick to people.
Hey,
They're the ones that deserve it.
it happens.
They have to deserve it.
Oh, Lynn, I love you. You're awesome. You have a beautiful night, okay?
You too. Get some rest and thanks again for the talk, very seriously.
Oh, yeah. And I can't wait because I'm going to be watching and learning and seeing what happens. Of course, I'm doing a whole bunch of weird stuff right now with my stuff, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I have fun, though.
That's the important thing.
Right. It's a good outlet for me. That's what art does for me. It allows me to express myself.
Totally.
Right. Okay.
That's how you know it's good for you.
Right. Keeps you happy. Anyway, you have a wonderful night, Lynn.
You too.
I'll see you in the forums.
Totally. Bye.
Have a